She fled bombs in Kiev, leaving behind the life she knew, seeking safety in a new country. She dreamed of peace, of a life free from fear. But on the night of August 22, 2025, 23-year-old Iryna Zarutska boarded a Charlotte train and was fatally stabbed. Her story shook a city and forced a nation to ask, how could this happen?
City of Charlotte, North Carolina, and their transit officials have now released surveillance video of an unprovoked, deadly attack that happened on a commuter train. We're not going to show that moment. A 23-year-old woman from Ukraine was stabbed to death last month, but it did happen minutes after she took a seat in front of her alleged attacker, who you see here in that red hoodie.
Iryna had just finished her shift at a local pizzeria. Exhausted but hopeful, she pulled out her phone, scrolling through messages and planning her next day. Passengers around her chatted, listened to music, or scrolled through social media. The Lynx Blue Line train moved steadily through Charlotte, unaware that violence would erupt within its walls in just minutes. She found her seat and settled in. For a fleeting moment, she felt safe, far from the bombs and chaos she had fled in Ukraine. Safety, however, would prove to be only an illusion. That night, DeCarlos Brown Jr., 34, was sitting behind her. Suddenly, he pulled out a folding knife and stabbed Iryna multiple times, including a fatal wound to her neck. Screams erupted. Some passengers ducked, others froze in shock. Brown exited at the next station, where officers quickly arrested him. Emergency responders arrived, but it was too late. Iryna was pronounced dead at the scene. Iryna Zarutska was more than a victim. At 23, she had fled war-torn Kiev, leaving her family and friends behind. In Charlotte, she worked at a pizzeria and studied English at a local community college. She dreamed of becoming a veterinary assistant, loved animals, and spent her free time drawing and exploring creative projects. Friends remember her as kind, full of life, and always ready to bring joy to those around her.
Yeah, just heartbreaking for so many people here tonight. And they are expecting about 30 people to gather here in Marshall Park. Take a look. That is exactly where that candlelight vigil will take place. Organizers say they want to let Iryna Zarutska's family know they stand with the family. Her loved ones say she was kind and she was hardworking. She was someone who was deeply loved by so many people, including her family. The organizer of tonight's vigil says it is so important to remember how violence impacts so many communities. And again, that vigil kicks off at 6:30 here at Marshall Park.
Her family described her as the glue of their lives, a source of laughter and hope. They never imagined she would face violence in a place she hoped would bring safety. DeCarlos Brown Jr. had a long criminal history, including 14 prior arrests for offenses ranging from assault to property crimes. In early 2025, he was released on cashless bail despite concerns over his mental health. Brown was later charged with first-degree murder and a federal transit-related crime, potentially carrying the death penalty. Authorities described him as unpredictable and dangerous.
Iryna Zarutska escaped the war in Ukraine with her family, and the video shows DeCarlos Brown attack her with a pocket knife while riding the city's light rail. Records show Brown has a long record of criminal charges and psychiatric crises. A judge released him without bail in January after he called 911 from a hospital, and he reportedly claimed people were trying to control him.
Brown struggled with schizophrenia, experiencing delusions and hearing voices. His family repeatedly sought help, contacting hospitals, mental health providers, and law enforcement, warning that he was unstable and potentially dangerous. Reports suggest they faced challenges in accessing consistent care, reflecting broader issues in mental health support. Even after an arrest in January 2025, Brown was released on bail. Officers documented his delusions, including claims that a human-made substance controlled him. While exact delays in mental health evaluations are not fully confirmed, it is clear that multiple warning signs existed prior to the attack. His mother, Michelle DeWitt, expressed heartbreak. "We tried everything. They told us he wasn't a danger. How could they not see what was happening?" Witnesses described a chilling scene. Some passengers looked at their phones, seemingly unaware of the violence unfolding just feet away. A few attempted to help, while others froze in shock. The suddenness of the attack left everyone paralyzed. The incident sparked debate online and in the media. Many asked whether bystanders could have done more, while others emphasized the danger of confronting an armed attacker. This conversation highlighted a societal struggle with moral responsibility during emergencies. Charlotte officials confronted uncomfortable truths about safety and mental health. The killing raised questions about transit security, gaps in mental health intervention, and the effectiveness of the justice system. Mayor Vi Lyles called the act senseless and tragic. Citizens and advocacy groups began calling for improvements in transit safety and mental health support. Iryna's death sparked national conversations about mental health, public safety, and criminal justice. Social media was filled with discussion, outrage, and heartbreak. Experts and advocates emphasized the importance of early mental health interventions, while the public debated the responsibility of bystanders and authorities. Iryna is remembered not just as a victim, but as a vibrant, hopeful young woman. Family, friends, and the community honored her with vigils, flowers, and memorials. Her death reminds us of the human cost when mental health systems and public safety measures fail. Her family continues to advocate for accountability, safety improvements, and public education on emergency response. Iryna's story is a call to protect the vulnerable and prevent future tragedies. Iryna Zarutska, 2002 to 2025. She fled war only to face unimaginable violence. Her story reminds us that mental health, public safety, and human compassion cannot be ignored. If you or someone you know is struggling, please seek help. You are not alone. Let us honor Iryna by acting, caring, and preventing tragedies like this in the future.